So, hi guys, and on behalf of the Lyca Radio Network, welcome to this virtual interview. How are you?
Very good.
Doing good, nervous, anxious, excited. How else would you? I mean, Zubin has songs that come out pretty often.
Oh.
He's the most seasoned.
Not as good as this one, huh?
Season
but,
finale.
but it's Rishabh's first, and
it's with the best. I couldn't
and
be.
I feel like it's my first. So yeah, and that's how you feel at the moment.
Too many more such feelings.
Absolutely. And hopefully the next ones will be in person, but we'll come to that in a little while. So Mohit, so we'll start with you if that's okay. And hopefully this will ease your nerve because you're 14 films old now, if I'm not wrong.
Wow.
Yes.
Just a little insight. Radiowalli is 14 years in the industry. So we already have something in common. So we're already off to a good start.
Even a life sentence when you go to jail is 14 years, no? I think.
My birthday is on the 14th June.
You know what? I feel like we're already off to a good start. So 14 is definitely the manifestation of the room. I love that. So Mohit, obviously with you, with the amount of amazing films you've done, you know, from Zeher to Raz to Ek Villain to Murder and now Saiyaara, a slightly less darker title, but still quite mentally invasive. Is there some kind of hidden background there or something you're trying to relate?
I've done an Ashiki, I've done a Hamari Adhuri Kahani, I've done those films also, you know, the things in 14.
Kalyug, wow.
Kalyug, yep.
Yeah.
I love Kalyug.
Definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, but talking about, no, it's what, I've never given a title because I feel it's a good title. I've always had a title where I feel it's connected with something to do with the film. And here, Saiyaara essentially is that star-struck lover of yours, you know, the one who's supposed to, you know, your soulmate, but whether you can really, who guides your night, who's there with you no matter what, but can you ever be with that person or not? So I think Saiyaara was a title that was not something that we jumped at because of it being a popular song that was already there in the Yash Raj kitty. But actually the other way around, I had to convince Akshay Vidani and Adi so why we wanted Saiyaara.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I had to convince them. And, you know, a very good friend of mine, Kausar Muni, had written that song. But I had to convince Irshad Bhai, who had written the title song, to whether the title justified the film. So I guess,
Arguments won.
Each title has its own journey.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And that's quite interesting you say that. Because if I'm not mistaken, and please do correct me if I'm wrong, the music actually took longer than the script. Am I right? I think music ko kuch 5 saal lage the aur script to 2 saal mein hi taiyar ho gayi thi. Am I right with
the music always takes longer than the script. I mean, I think, when did I meet you, Rishabh, for this film, for the song?
23, I think 23. 22 we met once, but 23.
23, I think. And once I think COVID, some restrictions were off and very few people met in the office with
that was 2022
and super sanitized. 22, right?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah,
that's when I met him for the song. That time I didn't have a producer, I didn't have a full-fledged script. See, the way I make a film is actually, I write like the songs. I mean, not the songs myself, in the sense this song has been written by Rishabh, but I make songs a screenplay tool within my script. I have nothing against the people who, you know, cut to a flash forward and they're dancing somewhere else and stuff like that. But my songs are pretty much a part of the film, which take the narrative forward. So I kind of get stuck in some places, and I think the amount of a song can contribute, 5 scenes can't.
You know,
so that's where
it's really refreshing you say that, Mohit, because I mean, you know, I've been very fortunate in my career. I've spoken to some amazing directors and producers, but one thing that's always really interested with me with your journey is that you don't actually make the film for the music. The music is incorporated. It's part of the hook of the film, and you know. I think it was Zeher, if I'm not mistaken, or it might have been Murder. Please correct me. Album mein 4 gaane the, and to make a full album, you need 5 songs.
Yes.
And rather than just, you know, make a new song for the sake of creating the album, I think you kind of looked at the DJ element, jo us time pe scene pe kafi zordar chal raha tha, and you were like, actually, let's create a new revolution. Let's do something hatke. Let's do something different. And you created a remix. Zahir ka hi gana tha na, if I'm not mistaken, or
Yeah,
was
it
it
was a song called Bola Mein Wo Baatein, which I
Bola
got.
Mein Wo Baat Hai? Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
So
So I
it's
actually
really
did that
interesting.
because, to be fair, I did that because I wanted 3 minutes of my film to play on music channels uh, all through the day. And at that time, they didn't play movie songs. They only played non-film kind of songs. So this suddenly went into a bracket of whether it's film or non-film because it was a music video.
Yeah.
And yes, and we needed an extra song, so I remixed. That's the only time I've really remixed a song, and that in Galia. But I think that I've never remixed a song. And I mean, I remixed my own songs. I've never remixed somebody else's.
Somebody else's. And
Um,
I think that was the part that was really refreshing. Okay. You could have, at that point, you could have made a new song and added it, but you
yes,
chose not to do that. What was your thought process, and did you have any pushback for that?
I feel I had a lot of pushback because they thought I'd taken a great emotional song and pumped it up and pasted and ruined it. That's I remember some people telling me that also, but I remember it's really uncanny you're bringing this up. I remember going to Mr. Bhatt's house with the video, and I shot it and stuff like that.
Really?
And Alia was just 10 years of age at that time,
Wow.
and she came out and said, "This is very good." I remember Bhatt Saab telling me that I don't get this, but if she gets it, means it's really going to be good. She always had it. She always had that more commercial sense of all of us.
So
Uh,
you had the Alia stamp of approval.
yeah, I mean, she was 10 years old.
Yeah, it was a Gen Z, right?
Yeah, and she just knew. I mean, the thing is, what I think Mr. Bhatt also had the intelligence, I mean, the humility and the magnanimity to understand that it caters to a generation that is the future
Correct.
and
And
not
I
what
think
he's been already doing. Yeah.
yeah, and I think like the very little interaction I've had with Batsa was, he tells you, "Jo bhi baat hai, no filter, muh pe he'll just tell you." And I think the fact that you got it
We
past
sometimes need
him.
the filter with him. Sometimes we do.
Oh, you do?
We do need it. We keep telling him, "But sir, not this now, and not this now, please." So that's Mr. Bhatt. That's all. What you and it's just unbelievable to be in company with someone like that.
Yeah.
But I think this just shows how much importance you as a director give music in your film. But the other thing I just wanted to sort of pick up on the track that we're here to talk about, is how rebellious the Ghana actually, if you watch, and I like to analyze things. So, I watched the song without any music. Then I heard the song without the video, and then I did both. Mere paas itna waqt tha, and that's how
Wow,
invested I
itna
was.
work. Wow.
Nice.
Because, for me, I'm similar to some of the people in the room. When I'm invested in something, करना है तो पूरा करना है, वरना भैया किसी और को मौका दे दो. मौका मिल रहा है तो पूरा फायदा उठाओ. So that's how I did it, right? I layered it, and I've been really fortunate. I've spoken with Jubin
Yeah,
before,
okay,
so
Radiowalli.
so it's a really rebellious video. You've got the Gen Z, as you said, on a motorbike. They're not wearing helmets. They're not wearing any protection. They're turning around. They're kissing. They're not watching the road. Is this an insight of what the characters in the film are going to be developing into, or did you just want to relate to the Gen Z of today?
I think this is how everyone was when they are in love, madly in love. It's not Gen Z. I think my dad's generation also did the same thing. I think, yeah, I just think it's when you fall in love. I don't think you're thinking. It's that very thin line. Terraces, bikes, uh, certain amount of possessiveness, ownership, uh, but at the same time, a certain amount of detachment. You're not sure where you're going. You
Yeah,
don't care about the future. You don't
it's
care
almost a
about the
parallel
past.
world.
We've all been in love and we've all done, that's why they say, come fall in love. There are very few rise in love. But in the sense is, so that's why you go Barbaad in love, is as this song is saying. Uh, what I think, it also talks about the times just that how people are scared to fall in love.
Yeah, absolutely.
In fact, what motivated me is when I, made some people read the script and they said, will today's generation believe in such pure love? Uh, and I was like, I think this is this is exactly what today's generation will believe in. And I went to Rishabh and I said, your song is even more relevant
Yeah,
because it's a guy and a girl who are both worried about the fact that they've started to feel, they've started to want more out of a relationship, and
yeah.
they feel that will destroy them.
Yeah. And I
Uh,
think that brings me really nicely onto my next point with Rishabh around, the actual track itself. Firstly, let's talk about the length. क्योंकि आजकल के
Yeah.
गाने, even the romantic numbers, and as a radio presenter, timing of a song is everything for us because हमें गाने काटने नहीं है, हमें पूरा उसको justice देना है. So, the fact it's got an old school time length on the song, and then it's got an old school feel. There's comparisons been made to Ashiki, all of that old school good feeling you get, Joe, we used to get back in the 90s and noughties. Was that incorporation for you? How important was that, and where did that stem from?
I feel like that freedom is Mohit sir, right? He takes time. He gives that freedom to somebody. But I feel like the length and the reason for that length is because if you hear the song in its entirety, it starts with hesitation, right? The
Absolutely.
theme of it starts with hesitation and it ends with surrender. And that process does take time. It's not just gonna wrap up in 2.5 minutes. Sometimes I go to labels and they're telling me the golden length is 232, 223.
Correct.
And that's how do I say my story in that? Like, how do I take that as a benchmark for a story? And I think that hesitation to surrender is gonna take time. It takes music pieces, it takes that journey. And Mohit sir is, in fact, he structured the song actually, and he structured it in a way where for the first 30 seconds you hear nothing. You just hear someone saying that "Tujhse dur main ek hi wajah ke liye hu," with no music whatsoever. And I feel like these are the turning points, right? These are the
Yeah.
things that we need to break free from. These templates, these factory settings that have been going on for so
I
long.
love that. The factory settings. I love that. That's such
Right.
a
And I think every decade, we all know it that Mohit Suri has been just breaking stereotypes. And I think he did it again.
the idea was not to break a stereotype. I mean, I just felt when the song starts with this a person who's reluctant to fall in love is trying to tell himself this first,
yeah.
that the reason I'm away from you is because I lose my bearings. I I become weak. Love is making me feel weak. Not I want you. I'm not that selfish person anymore. He can't already arrive at it. It's almost like a thought that comes to you slowly, right?
Yeah, it develops.
Yeah, even when I was saying this, I was trying to find the words, and
It needs time to marinate.
yeah, and it can't be
हमारी
like, oh,
सब्जियां ले लो, they
I'm
taste
already
better the
weak. It's
next
because I
day.
fall in love with you. Uh, I
मतलब
think they just need to arrive at it. I know.
Moij, are you telling us that you need to do a few more interviews with with Lyca Radio Network in order for you to fall in love with us?
No, I'm already in love with you all. As you said, I'm a heartless romantic. I'm walking with my heart on the sleeve. So I actually have the other point of view in the song.
No, I agree. Now let's talk about the perfect vocals that have laid over this song, but also over the video. So, Jubin, I know you've been sat there काफी शांति से, which is part of your
हाँ.
personality. But firstly, last interview we did together, you promised me the next one was going to be in our studios in London. So very disappointed.
I think I'll have to come for a tour.
I have the same problem. I mean, the last time I have to record a song with him, he has to come to Bombay. He doesn't come Mumbai. He doesn't come there anymore. He's back home in Dehradun.
उसको ना हम लोग next बोलेंगे पहाड़ी में मिलते हैं. He'll definitely
But that's
be
where
there.
exactly he is. That's where he is.
It's hard for me to be in the cities, and I've I've felt that whenever I work, from out of the city somewhere more peaceful, like home. It's better creatively. It's much richer, and I'm able to do performances that I've never done before, and yeah,
So
that's
just
why
to let you know, the Leica headquarters is actually Riverside. And it's
Oh, nice.
बहुत शांत है. So वो बहाना भी नहीं चलेगा. अभी for next time you need to think of a new one.
I
But
will.
let's talk about the vocals of this track. First of all, congratulations once again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely, clean bowled us as an
Thank
audience,
you.
as a listener, as somebody who's just got love for music. I'm not saying that I'm the most, qualified to talk about music, but as a listener, as somebody who
Thank you.
enjoys good music, you've done a fabulous job as always.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I think your vocals, when I was watching the video, and then I was watching it without the vocals, etc. I think the way the vocals have laid across the video, the picturization of that, it was an immersive experience. And I haven't felt that with a video for a long time. And
Right,
I'm a
right,
very
right. I
honest
agree.
broadcaster. So for me, it was that immersive experience. And I think that's where we saw the talent of Mohit Suri, Rishabh, and Jubin all married together. And I think it was actually the perfect combination. So when
Thank
you
you.
were laying the vocals for that, how much were you visualizing that video, and how did you manage that journey?
I had not, I had no idea about the video. I had no idea what had been shot.
I
And
think it's the other way
But the
around,
blind
yeah,
honestly.
ball sixer.
No, it's his song and his voice that inspires the visual. I never do it the other way around.
Okay,
thank you.
interesting.
I don't. I let them. I give them the character, and in fact, I very
Right.
shamelessly tell them that do all the acting and performance that my character in the film needs, not my actor. Do the character, do that, and
The justice of the character.
yeah, and so that even if the actor is just standing, it's still getting conveyed.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Because even the laying, you could feel every sequence, every element of that. You
So,
could feel.
when I saw, so I had no idea what the video was like. When I saw the video on the release and I saw it, I messaged Mohit. I said, thank you so much, because he's done such amazing visual treatment over the song.
Absolutely.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And, in times like today, when there's so much content releasing, everybody is releasing a song, everybody's releasing a video, everybody's making a film. And then from in between so much of content, there's something that really shines. It's pure gold, and big love to Mohit and big love to Rish fans for making. I mean, Rish, I would like to say that uh, there was a lot of that the song was giving me to croon it, a lot that I was taking from the song, from the lyric of that. And I knew it's a Mohit Suri project. It's going to be a musical project, and this is an important song. And I knew that uh, performance has to be out of the box. It has to be more than what I have done before. It has to be
Yeah.
much more than that. And but when I started singing the song, it just kind of fit in. It was I felt it would be very difficult to record the song, but when we eventually get down recording it, it just flew through, and definitely we felt the presence of God. I think that time I was feeling very comfortable singing the song, and it was just meant to be. That's what I feel. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I couldn't have put it in better words. And I think rather than Barbaad, I would rather call it Abad, because
Yeah.
that's exactly where I would take the level of this song. And
But Radiowalli, every time I speak to Jubin on the phone, I just tell him that thank God we met that day. Because every day as a singer, you're going to perform differently. Every
absolutely.
day you're going to wake up with a different mood. Jubin's going to wake up with a different mood and give a different representation of that song. The same song, he will sing it differently every single day. And
Yeah.
I'm just so glad that we got that day.
Yeah.
It just sat right. And then we tried it. We tried again in YRF, and Mohit sir came and he's just like,
It was
Oji, please, let's go back.
what we got.
Simple.
What we got.
We got the magic.
You got
Don't
the
fix
gold.
what's already broken.
That is something I've learned about Jubin in this short time that I've actually been lucky enough to grab him on a screen. मुझे उतना ही दर्शन मिला है अभी तक on a screen, right? Is that when Jubin is doing a track or an album, he's in that mindset. So if it's a devotional album, he's in that mindset. If it's a pop song, he's in that. So Jubin, please correct me if I'm wrong.
No, no,
I
no, you're
feel
right.
like when he's creating something, he absolutely मतलब डूब जाता है उस
No, no.
emotion में, उस character में, उस गाने में, and you can see the beauty of that in this
But
track.
here he played a much more responsible role. This film was about musicians. There's a guy trying to find his voice. There is a girl helping him find his own music. And I here was writing this song with, I mean, not writing. I didn't write the lyrics of the song. The lyrics were done by Rish. But I was here writing my film, and I got this song for this situation. And at that time, Rish had made it. There was so much of genius in the song, but
Yeah.
he had covered it with so much of programming. I couldn't find the soul in it. So the first thing I did is I stripped everything down, and I said, now when I got into a same simple piano or a guitar, I pushed Zubin to, and then I called Zubin and I said, Zubin, I need your help because I need to give character. So I have to say that Zubin probably got into the zone. He met them on that day. I'm lucky he
Amazing.
was in that mood. But he gave a personality. No, there's a difference, you know. He didn't make it a song about a person who's heartbroken, but he made it a song about a man who's hopelessly, madly,
Yeah.
and truly falling in love with somebody.
He
Perfectly
gave
said.
it the pure 360.
And that's where the song gets special. So I thank Zubin a lot. And
Thank you.
only someone with his, maturity and depth could actually
Yeah.
add to that perspective. And I think that's, Rishabh was
He
brilliant to
raised the
realize
bar.
that, oh, this is what you guys were saying. Because, I was
Absolutely.
trying
Absolutely.
but
The light
that's how
bulb
magic
moment.
is. See, the best part about, when any good creation actually is, to be honest, you just make it. And, it's when really when you appreciate it or someone in the audience appreciates it. We don't know what we've done. We just really like what we did
Yeah.
and we enjoyed. We were boys jamming in a room.
But that's where
And
the best sessions come from, right?
yeah, and then we made a song, and now it's reached wherever it has. So no one should know what. The minute you start thinking that now I'm going to do some brilliant work, you're doing the worst work in
It's a
your
That's
walk
life
when it
down.
at
gets
that
that's when it
moment.
gets barbad.
It's a walk down from that point.
Barbaad.
So true, so true.
So, Jubin, I mean, it's not a secret. You don't really like doing music videos. And I think the last time we spoke, I asked you about what's one of the things you want to try and envision for yourself for 2025. And you said it was to get a better schedule because of, your life and your patterns and pressure of ghar se ki abhi shadi kar lo and when's that going to happen and all of that. So, firstly, any updates on that? Anything you want to share?
No, 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 no. I'm still happy.
मतलब शादी करके बर्बाद.
That's what this song is about. You fall in love and it might really ruin you. So
Yeah.
that fear
Yeah,
we still
very
kind of
true,
living.
very true. So obviously, one of the things you said was that, and something you've always said is two for them and one for me. And
Yeah.
let me explain that for the room and for our listeners who are watching this and listening to this interview. Jubin has always said that when he releases songs, when he first started in the industry, he always wanted to be two songs public ke liye or ek gana mere liye.
Always,
So
yeah.
would you say this song is for your public or it's for you? Huh?
It's
I
mere liye.
thought it was.
Definitely.
That's why I wanted to ask the
You come
question.
across a good song like this in a very long time. Me as a singer, probably Mohit as a director, and even Rish as a composer, I think would agree that we are living in the industry and we come across so much music in our life from so many
Yeah.
different walks of life. And even Rish is making so many different kind of songs every day, every time he's listening to his fellow composers. So much music around us. So इतना स्पेशल गाना ना हम सभी के पास बहुत कम आता है.
Yeah, seriously. I don't know if we can also recreate it if we sat down together again.
अगेन या मतलब हो जाता है वो. एंड वो इतना स्पेशल जब गाना आता है तो उस वक्त फिर मुझे लगता है अपना काम है उस पर जी तोड़ के मेहनत करो एंड जो भी बेस्ट से बेस्ट आप कर सकते हो डू द
My
बेस्ट
only
यू कैन ऑन
request
इट.
on this track now is because you don't do many music videos, I would love to see you in a video version of this.
Yeah,
That's
maybe you
that's a personal request.
maybe you will.
And if you need any help or support, I'm willing to offer my services.
It's amazing how the Radiowalli is talking more about video.
Oh, क्या बात है. I think she's missing the
Or
videos.
video kill the radio star.
क्या करूं सर मेरे पीछे mic होता है and there's no screen, so when I have a screen chance I'm talking about videos. But I think one thing we definitely can't not end this interview with is, Jubin, you have to give us a line of this song, but not just the main line, the line that means something to you.
I think the Mukhra is amazing. And that was the best part that we just kind of got towards the starting of the song. तुझसे दूर मैं कहीं तुझसे दूर मैं कहीं वजह के लिए हूँ कमजोर हो जाता हूँ मैं तुझसे दूर मैं कहीं वजह के लिए हूँ आवारा बन जाता हूँ मैं तुझे छू लूं तो कुछ मुझे हो जाएगा जो मैं चाहता ना हो मुझको तुझे मिलके ये दिल मेरा बह जाएगा इसी बात का डर है मुझको के हो ना जाए प्यार तुमसे मुझे, कर देगा बर्बाद इश्क मुझे, हो ना जाए प्यार तुमसे मुझे, बेहद बेशुमार तुमसे. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. So beautiful. I always want to say, why have you stopped?
Wow.
You said, give me your favorite lines. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Jubin, you know this is not a secret. Anything you sing is always close to my heart. It's not a secret. But thank you so much. One thing I always do ask for at the end of my interviews is an exclusive. So something that our public won't know, something you're happy to share, something you can reveal to us. So from any of you in the room, something that you can share with us, an exclusive for the Radiowalli.
I think Mohit.
I think there's going to be a lot more
Mohit.
video versions that we're going to see of this.
Woo.
And I think we're trying to jam to get a duet version of the song too. I think we're trying to do work on that too.
Amazing.
Give a
Amazing.
new expression for sure.
Yeah.
And when you create that, obviously when you do the video, are we going to see Jubin on the screen for that video?
Aren't you Radio Wali? Not a Video Wali? Last thing I remember, radio just like was
Good
audio
sound.
and
Because
why
Zamana
you
social
bother
media
about the
ka hai,
video?
right? Zamana social
You're
media
not
ka hai.
YouTube Wali, are you?
But this is for our YouTube channel as well, so why not?
This is YouTube Wali. Okay. No, yeah, for sure. I mean, we I can't tell you more because I can only say it's something that we like to protect and so that we can surprise you.
Absolutely, of course. Well,
Okay.
hopefully we'll get some more on that when that does happen for you guys.
Yep.
But any final messages for all your fans who are eagerly awaiting the 18th of July?
18th of July. First day, first show.
Yep, you're gonna see us there.
Come, let's go Barbaad.
But I just want to say, that video for Barbaad is
Wow.
oh my
Iconic.
Yeah, it's something magical.
It's amazing.
It's magical. And yeah, I couldn't have imagined anything crazier than that.
Wow.
That moment, is cinematic magic, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's just put it out there. Like the moment when they come, it's one shot. And the moment Ke Hona Jaye Pyar hits, there's this flare that comes. I don't know
No, so
how these guys did.
that was magic. That was magic.
Yeah, that was
of
magic.
That's
cinema.
God.
That was magic of the actors performing well, and that light I didn't plan. You can't stage that.
How?
And I
How did
realized
that happen?
we were going to plan other cuts and close-ups and everything, but it just happened magically in that shot. And
Wow.
my cameraman, my writer, my associate director, everyone was like, "This magic cannot be recreated."
And
So
I
I
think
think when
that's why I
you
call it an immersive experience. It literally was an immersive experience. Like literally, I was
It is.
lost.
And that's a long shot, yeah.
it
It's
is a
a
long
very
shot.
long shot, and it doesn't feel like that. When
Because
I
the
saw it,
first
yeah.
move feels very long, right? The first
Yeah,
time
it's just like
it just
everything stops.
that moment is forever, right?
Wow.
That
Wow.
And
moment
even
goes
the
on
Amazing.
forever, right? And
even the
I just
shot
want
on the terrace, right at the end, that shot when you can see the actor, it's so deep. I think these are things that cannot be overlooked. It's so deep.
Oh,
There's
I
a lot
love
of
that,
depth in
yeah.
one
I love
shot.
that.
Yeah.
And I think
I love that.
that one shot summed up the entire lyrics of the song. And I don't,
And
I
that and
have
that
second
and that
guess.
and that stay in the video, when and that stay that moment when Ahan is just looking at her, that stay is amazing. That's amazing.
Insane.
It's
I
really
think
good.
these guys are gonna be it's the turning
Yeah,
point
you
for a
can see
lot.
they're gonna go for it.
Wow.
It's gonna
Very
go
good, yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's gonna go crazy.
But
I
but
hope so.
Moez, you're known for bringing on the risky of taking on somebody new and then just absolutely taking them to the next level. So
Wow.
I have no doubt that that's what's going to happen. But on behalf of the Lyca Radio Network, a big thank you to all of you. We wish you all the very best for the film, and please, we need to see you guys in London soon. वरना सबको पहाड़ों में आना पड़ेगा.
जी, जी, जी.
Done.
But no, thank you very, very much. And of course, a big thank you to Rashad Films as well, who we work very, very closely with. But we wish you all the best for the film. And thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Radio
Thank
Ali.
you, Wally. Thank you.
Just before we end, can I just grab a screenshot with literally just this so we have something for our clips, if that's
Yeah.
okay? And then when they send it to us,
Oh,
we'll...
guys, I don't even know how to do this. And
Oh.
okay.
Perfect. So we can grab a screen grab of that. Thank you guys so much for all your time. And
Thank you.
yeah, wishing you all
You're
the best.
amazing. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.